Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Jersey Cannabis Training Academy webinar series, where we focus on informing the public on the ins and outs of the cannabis industry in New Jersey. My name is Tahit Chappelle, pronouns he, him, and I'm the Executive Director of the Cannabis Training Academy. The NJ-CTA is a no-cost online technical assistance program aimed at helping New Jersey entrepreneurs understand the cannabis application and licensing process if they wish to pursue a cannabis license and operate a cannabis business in New Jersey. Today's topic focuses on civic engagement with the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Agency, also known as the NJ-CRC. The NJ-CRC oversees the cannabis industry, and they are the main agency cannabis advocates, entrepreneurs, workers, and license holders interact with on a day-to-day basis. One of the key ways the public can inform, engage with, and propose new ideas or bring up issues to the NJ-CRC is during the agency's public meeting. In this webinar, we'll speak with Wesley McWhite III, who is the Director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion for the NJ-CRC. Wes will help explain how the public can participate in a public meeting and how to engage with the CRC during a public meeting. And with that, I'll have Wesley introduce himself. Thank you, Wesley, for joining us.
Thank you, Tahid. Really appreciate this opportunity to share with the NJ-CTA. As you heard, my name is Wesley McWhite. I am the Director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion at the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission. This office is written in statute. Its original name is the Office of Women, Disabled Veteran and Minorities Business Development, and we changed the name to the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. This office is tasked with promoting the cannabis industry throughout the state and also making sure that we're seeing a specific number or meeting a benchmark for a specific number of licenses provided or awarded to disabled veterans, to women and minorities in the state of New Jersey. We're also tasked with making sure that we are recommending the right policies, practices, and procedures that promote the participation of individuals who have been disproportionately left out from participating in the cannabis industry, whether through workforce or through ownership and through licensure. And really excited to be with you and talk about public engagement and the importance of our public comment period during our public meetings.
Thank you, Wes. Appreciate that introduction and a brief explainer of the roles and responsibilities of your office. So let's talk about the public meetings. Can you provide a brief overview of how a public CRC meeting is organized and how are the agendas typically organized each month?
Yeah, so we are an agency that consists of both a staff and of a board of commissioners, a board of 5 commissioners, with our chair being Diana Wainu and our vice chair, Sam Delgado. And so what happens, it is a hand-to-hand relationship working between staff and commissioners. Staff works around the clock, Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends, preparing proposed agenda items for the board's review. The chair sets the agenda, and so the agenda is passed down to the board well in advance of a coming public meeting. And there are some consistent things that stay on the agenda. That is the executive director's report, that is the chair's report, or some of those things. Public comments stay on our agenda. Those are staples of our agenda. But now also licenses, the awarding of licenses stays on the agenda, and other items that are up for consideration during a public meeting. Our agenda is typically posted about a week before our public hearing or a public meeting, and it provides an opportunity for the public to see exactly how the cheese is made here at the NJ-CRC. And so what we do is, once we receive the proposed agenda from the chair, the staff works diligently to make sure that all of the items that the board needs to review to make a decision on all of the agenda items is completed and passed to the board in a timely manner.
And when the agenda is compiled and it's ready to go, talk about a little bit about notifying the public. How is the public notified about an upcoming meeting, and how can the public directly participate? What are the steps here?
Yeah, so the typically how really all public meetings, public state meetings happen is that it is posted in New Jersey Registrar. We inform a number of newspapers and media outlets about our public meeting, but really your first stop, all stops should lead to our website. Once the agenda is actually posted to our website, you then can register to speak or to submit written comment. And so we also post about our meetings on our social media channels as well. And the full schedule of all of our public meetings is posted the year prior. So all of the dates that you see on our website have been posted a year prior. And so towards the end of the year, we post next year's public meeting schedule so that folks know well in advance when we are having our public meetings.
Now, we at the beginning of this, I talked about that public engagement is important. Can you talk a little bit about why it's important and what are some ways that public commentary has directly impacted the rules and regulations of the cannabis industry in New Jersey?
Yeah, so our twin values are equity and safety, but I always like to tell people that one of the other ones is transparency. And so, as a part of our process, right, as public servants, public folks that work for the public, we want to make sure that this process remains transparent. And we want to make sure that we have a significant amount of public engagement to help us really grow and craft the industry according to not just how we see it, but how the public sees it on the ground. And so the what we want to make sure that we do is to provide an opportunity for folks to do just that. And so through our public commenting process, you're really on the record, right? You are able to really speak about anything relevant to our work or to the industry or things that you want to bring to the attention of the board. And it is really, really important for folks to, whether they want to do in person or over the phone, or whether they want to submit written comments here at the NJ-CRC, we take public engagement very, very seriously. And doing that through those mediums gets you on the record. And that's important to make sure that we are not just being transparent about the work that we are doing and the issues that we're looking to address, but also being held accountable to the things that the public tells us at our public meetings as well.
And can you just give an overall explainer as to why the CRC should hear from the public? Why is it important that the New Jersey CRC have this level of transparency with the public?
Yeah, because without the public, we don't have an industry. Plain and simple, right? And so hearing from the public about barriers to entry into the industry when it comes to our licensing process, whether there are public safety concerns that folks are encountering on the ground. It's really, really important for us to make sure that we're hearing from folks that are on the ground because historically, the cannabis industry can change day to day. And with the shifts in industry and shifts in the market, we want to make sure that we are informed as much as possible and have a large view of where the industry is going and what's happening so that we can do the best that we can to address that through our rules and our regulations.
So let's do a walkthrough here. So I'm a person who sees the CRC is having an upcoming public meeting.
Mhm.
I want to give a comment or testimony at an upcoming hearing. How should I prepare for commentary, whether that's submitting something written or showing up? What are some ways that I should prepare to speak?
So the very first thing you need to do is register to speak. We only call on registered speakers. And through our easy forms on our website, you can register to speak in person, or you can now register to speak over the phone. To give you an example, that is one of the suggestions that came across during our public comment periods for specifically the medical community wanting to participate virtually in our public meetings. And because we received that feedback from folks through our public comment period, we have now been able to get the technology to where we need it to be so that we can have individuals either dial in to our meetings meetings and provide those comments virtually. So first thing you want to do is to make sure that you are registered to speak. It is easy forms you can fill out on our website, and there are links directly to the registration page right on our meetings page. So you really, really can't miss it. To prepare, you want to make sure that your remarks are under 3 minutes, and that you stay on topic in whatever those topics can be. Some folks like to talk about 10 things in 3 minutes, and some folks like to talk about one thing in 3 minutes. And whether you come with written remarks or whether you do them right off the top of your head, it's best to make sure that your comments are concise, that they are respectful, that they stay on topic. And then for me, it's really helpful to have an ask with your comments as well. Although, there are things that, that are comments that folks that make that are within the CRC's purview, and sometimes there are comments that are made that are outside of the CRC's purview, things that we just can't control. But either way, those comments are important to us, and the best thing that you can do is just make sure that you're staying on topic, that you're clear and concise in your messaging, and that you stay under those 3 minutes.
Wesley McWhite III, the Director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion for the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission. Wes, what is the best way, as we wrap this webinar up, what is the best way for the public to contact either your office, or the CRC?
Yeah, so you can contact us at odi@crc.nj.gov. And you can always give us a call as well. We have a customer service team who stands at the ready to forward any calls or information to us. We are an agency that prides itself on making sure that we return all of our correspondence to folks. So even if you can't make a public meeting, which we encourage you to provide comments at public meetings, we are constantly answering questions via email, via phone, receiving feedback specifically through the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and working and collaborating with other directors in the office to make sure that things that we are hearing from the public are circulated around our office, and that we're working as hard as we can to find solutions for those things as well. So we are not like any other agency. I really am proud of the way that we stay engaged with stakeholders, with the industry, with the license holders, with the medical community. We are working harder and harder every day to make sure that folks are heard and that they feel listened to, even outside of our public comments. But it is really, really important. Even when I talk to people in one-offs, I tell them all the time, show up at our public meetings, the same things that you're telling me, make sure that you come to our public meetings and provide those comments as well. And even if they're written, Fahid, written comments are posted on our website. All of our meetings are posted on our website, the recorded version, and the written copies are posted on our website. So you'll be able to see your comments and track whether or not the CRC has stayed engaged on the topic that you've brought up, or calling attention to those that are outside of the CRC that have the power to change the things that you would like the CRC to change via the comments that you have provided. So we're going to keep working around the clock to make sure that folks know how important and how serious we take our public comments, from our chair to our executive director and all the staff level as well. It's almost like a popcorn party when we have public meetings, because everyone at the agency tunes into them or watches them, and we talk about the level of engagement they have and the topics that have come up during our public comment period.
Wonderful tips, wonderful guidelines. And Wes, again, appreciate your work, and thank you so much for this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us.